So welcome everyone, and thank you for joining me tonight for the healing power of cacao. So today we're looking at how cacao works. We're celebrating cacao, the amazingness of cacao, and I'm running this session tonight to celebrate the launch of my Juliette's Kitchen Sacred Cacao from Ecuador. So I'm going to be telling you a bit about this. I'm going to be telling you about cacao itself, the benefits, and then we'll get into a cacao ceremony. If anyone's got any questions as we go, please do just type them in the chat and I will try to answer them. Someone says, oh my God, it's amazing. Yeah, it is such a beautiful cacao. I'm so excited. I'm really excited to bring you all on the journey of cacao with me tonight. So tonight is really special because it is the celebration of my launch of my cacao, but it's also celebrating cacao in itself. So we're celebrating this extraordinary plant, its history, its medicine, its wisdom, and the thousands of years of relationship between cacao and human beings. Now, cacao is an incredible medicine, and it's one of many incredible medicines. We have so many beautiful plant medicines like hawthorn for the heart and rose, and cacao is one of them. And when you combine hawthorn, rose and cacao, wow, that's just quite something. That's like a heart blast. So we have so many beautiful plants, and I just want to honour all of them, but tonight specifically cacao. And I've worked with cacao for many years now, both personally and ceremonially, and I've worked with many different types of cacao, and I've never been called to have my own brand until I found this one, and something in it just spoke to me. This cacao reached places that I've never had reached with cacao before, and I thought, I'm happy to put my name to this, and I want to share this. I want to share the magic of this cacao. And what's amazing about this is that it comes from Ecuador. And why that's so incredible is because if we go back in time in cacao's story, which we will do in a moment, before the chocolate bars, before the confectionery, Ecuador was one of the first places that we have evidence of cacao being. So for many years, people were taught that cacao was from Central America. And then we know that the Mayans, it was very important to, and the Aztec cultures. But there's been some archaeological discoveries that has really changed our understanding of that history. And so there was a site in southeastern Ecuador where researchers discovered evidence of cacao in ancient vessels. And this evidence dated back approximately 5,300 years ago. So this makes it some of the earliest known evidence of cacao being used anywhere in the world. Now, these people had sophisticated settlements. They had ceremonial spaces, they had agriculture, they had trading relationships that stretched between the Amazon, the Andes, and the Pacific. And cacao appeared within that world. So imagine that 5,000 years ago, humans were working with cacao, sharing it, carrying it, sitting in ceremony with it, using it as part of their rituals. And so when we drink cacao later on this evening, I want you to think about that particular relationship. The fact that humans and this plant stretch back thousands of years. That to me is such an exciting thing. So when we look at cacao, before the chocolate factories, before cacao had a price, when it was a plant in a forest, a tree, this cacao, the roots were communicating beneath the earth, the birds were carrying the seeds through the canopy, and this tree, and not a big tree, was creating such a beautiful food. And imagine those first people who discovered these fruits, breaking open those pods and finding this sweet pulp surrounding the seeds, a pulp that tastes like a mixture between mangoes and lychees, and experimenting, fermenting it, grinding it, mixing it, sharing it, and then in that process discovering the medicine of the plant within, how it interacted with them, what state it created in their body. And this is such a special thing. So when we look at cacao, it is about a relationship between ourselves and the plant, a relationship between the plant and the earth, a relationship between all the people, the cultures who have worked with cacao for thousands of years. So cacao was, the Mayans worked with cacao. It was associated with ceremonies, with status, with fertility, with life, and it was viewed as sacred. The Aztecs had the cacao beans as a function of currency, so it was used in tributes. And cacao eventually moved to Europe, where we changed it. We mixed sugar with it and dairy and roasted it, and industrial processing arrived, and cacao moved from a medicine into a confectionery, into the chocolate that most people know today. So really, this movement of cacao is a reclaiming. It's a reclaiming of the status. It's a reclaiming of honouring the traditions, honouring the medicine of this beautiful plant and the journey that this plant has been on. Now, when we look at cacao and how it works in the human body, one of the cacao characteristics is theobromine. Now, theobromine is a mild stimulant. It's a sister component to caffeine, and caffeine raises you up like this and you come down like this, whereas theobromine, you come up and you level off. So it's an uplift that gives you a bit of an awakening without that jitteriness, without that edge that coffee can bring. So it has a stimulating property, but not to the same extent. Cacao contains magnesium. In fact, it's the most bioavailable source of magnesium on the planet. So magnesium is essential for 700 functions in our body. So really important to support our overall well-being. It's responsible for muscle function. It's important for nervous system functions, hormones, mood, sleep, relaxation, so many things that magnesium is responsible for. And cacao is the most bioavailable source of magnesium on the planet. So really amazing thing to be bringing into our body. When we look at cacao, it's also rich in polyphenols and flavonoids, and this means that it's very, very good for our cardiovascular system. It's very good for our blood flow. So that's how it's working on that level. So when we look at cacao and its physical properties, we have the magnesium, we have the theobromine. It also has PEA, and PEA helps us to concentrate and focus. So it's working on brain function. So you can have a cacao and sometimes you can really have that sharpening of your focus because of the PEA that it increases. Cacao also contains anandamide, and anandamide is a bliss chemical, so it's uplifting, it's helping you to feel good. Now, I know some of you have done my training that are in here, so some of you this is a refresher for, so hopefully it's ticking all those boxes. I can't take any caffeine without feeling really weird. I can't either, so cacao is a beautiful substitute for that. Someone says, I've tried so many different types of cacao prepared in so many ways and I've become a bit of a connoisseur of it. This one might be my favourite so far. Amazing. So when we're looking at cacao and we're looking at these physical benefits, as I said, the anandamide, which is known as the bliss chemical, is really important for our body. In our body, we contain something called the endocannabinoid system, and this is like the foundation of our house. It's there to bring balance to all of the bodily systems, and within our endocannabinoid system we produce two cannabinoids, 2-AG and anandamide. So when we're working with cacao, this is supporting our anandamide production. So it's allowing us to increase the anandamide in our body, helping us feel uplifted, helping reduce inflammation, helping with pain receptors. So it's a really important part of how the cacao is working in our body to support us by supporting our endocannabinoid system. Jessie said, Juliette's cacao training is amazing. If you feel called to it, I can't recommend it enough. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. One of my favourite things to run. So when we're looking at the benefits of cacao just on a physical level, it is a powerhouse. It contains over 360 active chemicals and minerals. So it's really such an important medicine on a physical level. So that's just one aspect, the physical. When we start to expand it and we look at how it's working on an energetic level, this is also such an important aspect of it. When we work with cacao, cacao is designed to open our hearts. It's designed to connect us into the love that we are. And in that process, when we connect into our heart space, it shows us all the things that are sitting there. It shows us the grief. It shows us everything. It's all there. It shows us the beauty. It shows us the oneness. It shows us all of the layers. And it holds us in that space. So if we're trying to process things, it gives us that big hug and says, it's okay, I've got you. I've got you. You've got the space that you can go into this. And in a world where we've had so many things that layer up over our heart that shut us down from that love, I really believe this medicine is coming into our forefront now, because now is the time to reconnect. Now is that time for the opening. And for me, cacao is perfectly paired with medicinal mushrooms. So whether it's reishi or chaga, I have to bring mushrooms into everything I do, and cacao and mushrooms sit beautifully together. And for me, the mushrooms, the mycelium, it roots us into the earth. The cacao is opening our heart, and that's such a beautiful space to be in. When you're working with cacao, you can work with different notes to connect you to different spaces. So quite often when I make cacao, I love to put in something like frankincense or blue lotus. So it's also working up here. So you're connecting in these beautiful ways to the cosmos, to the earth, and into the love that we are. Those are some of my favourite ways to do it. Mugwort also is a beautiful one to add into cacao for that cosmic connection as well. If anyone's got any questions, as I said, do type them in the chat as I am going, and I will answer them if I can. So when we look at cacao, we've got the magnesium, we've got the theobromine, we've got the PEA, the focus and concentration, we've got the anandamide, that bliss, that uplift, that happiness. We have the polyphenols and the flavonoids, we have the antioxidants, super rich in antioxidants, supporting our immune system, supporting our longevity. So cacao is a key longevity food for our body, for our systems. And I think, you know, when we start to work with foods like cacao, what we're doing is we're shifting our vibration. We're opening ourselves up into that higher frequency of love, of gratitude. And these are some of the highest frequencies that we can be working with. So cacao, for me, one of the things that's really important is it's not a magical fix-all. It's not a replacement for anything. It's not a bandage. It's a support. It's an ally. It's something that's coming now so that we can slow down, so that we can become present, so we can breathe, so we can listen, so we can connect. And one of the things that really I've been thinking about and feeling into so much recently is the fact that with cacao, we don't know necessarily what the ancient ceremonies were, what the ancient rituals were. But what cacao is doing is it's reminding us of the importance of ritual, the importance of ceremonies. In our ancient practices throughout the world, ceremony, ritual was a key foundation to life. So everything was based around ceremonies. Ceremonies honouring the sun, ceremonies honouring the moon, ceremonies honouring the planting of the seeds, the harvesting of the seeds. All of these things, everything in life became a ritual, a ceremony, a space of gratitude and acknowledgement. And this has been wiped out of life, hasn't it? Most people don't celebrate anything other than going down the pub and having a beer maybe. So taking that sacredness out of ceremony is very much what's happened. So people's ceremonies might be rolling a cigarette or making a cup of coffee or having a beer down the pub. Now, I'm not saying, well, actually, there's a lot wrong with all of those things. I was going to say, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with those things, but actually there is. So I'm going to scrap that. And so what I believe cacao is really doing at this time is it's showing people that space of ceremony. It's reminding us that life is ceremony. Life is gratitude. Life is ritual. It's honouring in every moment. It's honouring our breath. It's honouring everything. And I think this is a big part of the medicine that is coming through with cacao. And so when we do cacao ceremonies, these ceremonies are really, they can be done however you choose, as long as there is a deep respect and deep acknowledgement of where this medicine has come from. I was very honoured yesterday, that was only yesterday, to be invited onto a group called Women of Cacao. And I was very honoured that they found me. And it was incredible. There is a summit called Women of Cacao, which is happening in September, which is going to be amazing, where there are speakers all about cacao from all around the world. And hopefully, if it all aligns, I will be on one of the panels talking about cacao. But we were having this conversation yesterday, and there were people from Mexico, from Ecuador, from Costa Rica, from lots of different places, talking about cacao and coming and being in right relationship with cacao. And how we do that, because obviously cacao is not our medicine in the Western world. It is the medicine of South America, of Central America. It's also the medicine of Africa and of India. You know, this medicine isn't just in those cultures. It's spread its way through many places. But this medicine isn't the medicine of the land of Europe or of Northern America. So we have to be aware of where is there cultural appropriation and where is there not, and what does that mean to us, and what does ceremonial cacao mean in itself as well? What do cacao ceremonies mean? What is all of this? And so this was a really beautiful conversation, and one of the points that I made when I was speaking is that, to me, what we're doing when we're working with cacao is we're connecting our indigenous roots here with the indigenous roots all around the world, because ultimately they're all one. All of these ancient ways were all linked through the honouring and the worship of the earth, through the mycelium, through that interconnected web. And in these lands, we worked with hawthorn and rosemore for our heart. And we can still work with those. But I believe the medicine of cacao has come to our lands to create a deeper relationship with those indigenous practices, which are unbroken in a lot of traditions, but very much broken in our lands. So as we weave cacao into our lands, I believe it's that remembrance that's coming up. It's that reawakening of that ancient knowledge, of that ancient relationship. So to me, that's what's so exciting. It's that remembering that the cacao brings. And in that, we honour the seeds of the cacao. We honour where it's come from. We honour the journey, and we celebrate that it's here now. When I was in Peru a year and a half ago, I was working with some shamans over there, and one of them said to me, the medicine is ready to spread. It wants to spread. It wants to be taken everywhere. Now is the time, not just for Mama Cacao, but for coca, for different medicines to be remembered, not in their abused state, chocolate. You know, we've appropriated cacao for hundreds and hundreds of years and bastardized it. And now we're remembering the truth of it. And that for me is what's so exciting. We're rewriting. We're ho'oponoponoing. We're sending all those good vibes to the abuse and bastardization that has happened. And we're putting that love back to cacao. Woohoo! It's exciting. Oh, someone's just said, just giving me goosebumps. Yeah, it felt like that to me as well. That I was just talking and it was like, oh, it feels like an ancient dream, a calling. It so does. It really does. That's the word that keeps coming to mind when thinking of chocolate bars like Cadbury. Yeah, that now do not contain any chocolate. Love this so much. Oh, amazing. And it's brought tears to my eyes. Just that, you know, what we're doing, you know, with the deepest love is healing. We're healing a lineage of abuse, not just for cacao, but for so many plants that we have inverted. And many of you have heard me talking about this inversion. I'm not going to go into it now, you know, except for the fact that we turn medicine to poison, and then we look at that poison and go, that's the problem, when actually it's what we've done to it. So we're coming back into that beautiful relationship, and that's so exciting. So cacao, as I said, it's bringing us back into ceremony, it's bringing us back into relationship, it's bringing us back to gratitude, back to creativity, back to listening to ourselves and to the earth. And many of you know that that is the core of my work, reconnecting to who we are and our place on this beautiful planet. And that's the essence of life, isn't it? Coming back to our body, coming back into relationship, and coming back into our heart. So what is ceremonial cacao? And this is a massive question. And even on the forum yesterday that I was on, this was such a big question. What is ceremonial cacao? Because this is something that has the Western world, the term ceremonial cacao has very much been taken on and built up, and there's no real definition of ceremonial cacao. So I'm going to define what my ceremonial cacao is, the one that is my brand, and the values that I hold dear to me in this space. So ceremonial cacao to me is cacao that is heirloom cacao. What does that mean? It's ancient strains. It's not modern hybridized GMO strains of cacao. It's ancient strains of cacao. Not only is it ancient strains of cacao, these heirloom ones, which we want to keep going, but it's ancient farming techniques. So what that means is it's not grown in monocultures. It's grown in agroforestry, in a permaculture way. So you have your cacao trees with the vanilla growing around it, and you have all the different layers of plants growing together. So you do not just have one tree. And this is a really important aspect of it, because what you're getting is the synergy of all the plants together. You're getting the synergy of those plants and what they do to the soil and how they support the soil, so that the soil is in the richest state, because it's not one thing taking all the nutrients. You have things giving nutrients, taking nutrients, and it's this ecosystem. Not only is the permaculture agroforestry principle so important for this, but it's also so important for farmers, because those farmers, if there's a year where cacao's not so good, maybe their vanilla crop is even better, or their cardamom, or whatever it may be, because there's a synergy working together. So the farmers aren't just reliant on the cacao. They're reliant on all of them working together. And this is what is so, so important. So the cacao that I get, the ceremonial cacao, is heirloom cacao. It's grown in an agroforestry way, permaculture way. It's grown organically with no chemical inputs, no fertilizers. Woohoo! I can see a bag of it there. No fertilizers, no pesticides, no fungicides. It's working with nature. And now, and my ceremonial cacao goes a step further. It is also all hand farmed. It's hand ground. It's hand created. So it's very, very beautiful. The harvesting, the whole process is made with love. So with the cacao that I have, it is untempered. So what this means is it's been fermented. So the cacao, here is cacao. This is a dried cacao pod. So the cacao is picked, the beans are taken, and the flesh is separated from the beans, the fruit of it. And the beans are then fermented in a basket, and every day more water's added and the temperature's checked so it doesn't go over 42 degrees. And in this fermentation process, this is where the flavour of the cacao really comes out. After that, it's hand ground so that the fat and the powder separates out, and then it's recombined. But in that, it's not then processed. So it's chunks of untempered chunks as nature after the grinding process allows. So it's a really beautiful thing. So I've seen some full fresh cacao pods for sale in Ipswich, and I wondered how I could use it if I bought it. Have you ever done anything with fresh cacao? They're £12 each, so didn't take the risk. That's actually really quite cheap, £12. Normally they're about £30 or £40. So the cacao pod, when they're fresh, you can break it open and you can eat the flesh and you can eat the beans, and they're very, very beautiful. You can also, as some of you know, sit and meditate and connect with the energies. Last February, when I ran my Way of Cacao Glastonbury retreat, we had a beautiful cacao pod with us that sat in ceremony with us over the 3 days. And at the end, we cut it open, which was quite hard because we'd all become quite attached to the cacao pod. We sang to the cacao pod. And it moved into all of our dreams. It kind of infiltrated our being, this cacao pod. And then we ate it. And we also took the seeds to plant. And I don't know if anyone's has grown that took the seeds to plant, but you can just eat it raw and fresh, and it's incredible. The flesh tastes like a mixture between mangoes and lychees, and the cacao beans just taste a bit like a bitter nut. It kept us awake chatting. It was chatting to us a lot. So really beautiful just to sit and be with the energy of it, because that's another part of all of this. It's, sitting and being with the energy of the medicine. We don't have to just consume, we can hold it. So if you've got cacao, you can sit and just hold it and connect into the energy of it that way as well. So it's a beautiful thing. So when we look at ceremonial cacao, as I said, the ceremonial cacao that I am working with is grown organically in a permaculture way, this agroforestry way, with these heirloom strains of cacao, and it's hand gathered, hand ground, and then untempered. So it's a very, very beautiful cacao. It's small farms, and there's a group of them, and it's those small farms that I am working with to get it from. I haven't been over to Ecuador and met them personally yet, but that will be happening. But I have connected with them on Zoom. It's amazing, Zoom's everywhere, and had some beautiful conversations and getting it directly from them. So really, really exciting. And for me, the energetics of it, when I tasted it, I just knew that this was where my heart was. And I also want to say, it doesn't mean that it's better than anyone else's. There are so many different cacaos out there from different countries that carry different energies. And that's also something that's super beautiful, to connect into the different countries and the energy of the cacao in that country. When I was in Peru, I connected with beautiful farmers in Peru and consumed their cacao, which was amazing and totally different medicine from the one I've got here. So there's lots of different medicines of cacao. Guatemala, Venezuela, we've got all of these different places, India, that have their own cacao. And when you connect into that, that's beautiful. So, there's not one shoe that fits all. I think we can experience and connect with lots of them for whatever is right in the moment. But for me, this one just touched that place in my heart, and I knew that this was the one that I wanted to work with, the one that I wanted to share with the world and put my name to, which is really exciting. So shortly, I'm not going to keep talking all night, we will have a cacao ceremony, but for me it's so important that we understand where things have come from, we understand the medicine, and also that journey of what is that rightness and that repair that is so important for us. So this evening we will be setting an intention, we will be connecting with the cacao. And one of the things about cacao that's so beautiful is that you can have it in a big ceremony. You can make a regular ceremony with it where you connect with it quietly. You can work with it to increase your creativity. You can, for me, one of the ways that cacao really came in so strongly was when I was going through quite a hard time at home, and cacao was my saviour. And that's quite big words. But I was struggling a lot with my home situation and felt very out of control of a lot of things. And so for a while I had my cacao every day, and what it did was it gave me precious time to ground, to connect with the earth, and to know that I was held when I was busy holding everyone else. It was that reminder that I wasn't alone, and that I had the support of Mama Cacao and the support of the earth behind me. And I think that is such an important gift, because so often we feel we're alone. And when we're going through challenges, having that plant ally that is cacao can be like someone wrapping their arms around you, embracing you, giving you that deep hug. And so when we work with cacao, having an intention is super important. Before we get into the ceremony, I just want to say that starting in September, I do have my next round of my 8-week certified online cacao training. And this is really a space where we go into how to hold ceremony, how to create sacred space, how to protect yourself, how to connect with the cacao, how to come into deep relationship. And that's what it is. It's a coming into relationship with cacao and seeing what unfolds from that space. And I have to say, if the last one was anything to go by, it was just next level. It was just incredible. So if anyone's interested in that, I know a few of you here have been on it already, but if anyone's interested in that journey, drop me a message and we can talk about that more. Developing that deep relationship with cacao. So before we drink our cacao tonight, there's one more thing that I want to talk about, and I only found this out recently, and it's something that I find super exciting. So in the Costa Rican, in the area of Costa Rica, and I might butcher some of these words, and my deepest apology for anyone from Costa Rica if I'm butchering any of these names. But in the forests in the south of Costa Rica, there is a tribe of people called the Bribri people. And what's very interesting is that their language, their traditional cosmology, cacao is in their creation story. So what this means was cacao was once a woman, and the creator chose cacao as his companion. So cacao then became the cacao tree so that she could continue to nourish the people through the drinks made from her fruit. So cacao carries this spirit of a woman. So she was the creator's partner and then became this tree to nourish. That was her reason of being, to nourish. Her fruits, her seeds became nourishment. And this is still held in these cultures, in this culture, as the core of their being. That cacao is about the thresholds, it's about beginnings, it's about initiation, it's about union, it's about endings. And the women were always the people who prepared these drinks. And so when we're consuming the cacao, when we're working with it, it represents relationship and it represents reciprocity. The earth giving herself to us and the plant becoming nourishment for us. And then we offer from our nourishment our reverence to the earth and to the plant. So creating this beautiful cycle, which is such a lovely, lovely thing. So when we begin our ceremony in a moment, I want you to think about a few things. We're in August, and this is the season of harvest. The hedgerows are becoming heavy with fruit. The elderberries are laden. The blackberries are everywhere. So we have the seeds have become plants. The seeds that we planted have become plants. The flowers have become berries. And the earth is showing us what has grown. And the harvest time isn't about just seeing what is there now. It's about what is the next step. What have I already done and what more is to be done? So that's what we're going to be looking at in the cacao ceremony this evening. Does anyone have any questions before we move into that? What we're going to do is we're just going to take a minute break in case anyone wants to have a quick wee or get their cacao if they haven't. So we'll just have 2 minutes. At 45 past, we will start the cacao ceremony, just giving you a moment to go to the toilet or to get your cacao if you don't have it. I have mine here and it's warm, which is a lovely way to drink it. Lovely. If you've made your cacao whilst we're waiting, if you're not going to the toilet, type in the chat what's in your cacao. Thank you, great mug. It's made by some beautiful Iranian women, so women in Iran who make these, and I buy them from a beautiful woman over here who brings them over to support these women. So really love that. I also love the fact that it's from Iran, and so it's supporting women who are not in the best of spaces in their environment currently. So it's also for me, when I'm drinking my cacao from this, connecting into that healing of that culture as well. I like my I can't speak. I like my cacao completely on its own, no sweeteners or flavour. I also have my own special cacao mug. Beautiful. It's lovely to have your own special cacao mug. Sue's got lotus dreams, cinnamon, infinite possibilities, and love. Love that. It's beautiful to drink cacao plain. It's lovely to add other things. Tonight in mine, I've got my mushroom tincture because I always put mushrooms with my cacao. I have a little bit of cashew milk with it, and I've also got vanilla. I've added organic cinnamon and local honey, and love my first cup of your cacao. Oh, how exciting! Yay! Amazing. Vanilla, lotus dreams, coconut sugar, mushroom tincture, almond milk. Amazing. Lotus dreams, for those of you who don't know, is blue lotus, pink lotus, frankincense, myrrh, mugwort and tulsi. It's one of my products, which is very lovely. We have your cacao with Celtic salt and vanilla with almond milk and coconut sugar and mushrooms as intro to hubby. Beautiful. Ooh, I suppose I make mine with coconut alpro, nothing else though. Lotus dreams is magical. Amazing. Okay, have we got everyone here? Let's just have a look. Is everyone back if they've gone to the toilet? I don't know if anyone went to the toilet. Oh, let's just wait a second. Jill's not back yet. Mine has nutmeg, almond butter, oat milk and maple syrup, tiny bit. Beautiful. They all sound lovely. So do we have any questions about cacao before we start the ceremony? Okay. I think everyone's back. We will begin. I'm just going to record this separately as well. Let's just get voice recorder up. Okay. So I invite you now to just get comfortable. If you can, allowing your feet to meet the earth. And taking your cup of cacao in both hands. And if you're watching this and don't have a cacao, that's fine. Imagining that you're holding a beautiful cup of cacao to your heart. And not drinking it yet, just holding it. And feeling the warmth of it coming through the cup to your hands. And if you feel comfortable to close your eyes. And taking a long, slow breath in through the nose. And breathing out. Releasing and relaxing. And again, breathing in, slow, deep, even breath. And breathing out. Allowing your shoulders to soften. Allowing your jaw to relax. And allowing yourself to arrive. Nothing else is required of you right now. You don't need to be anywhere or do anything. Simply being here with yourself, with this circle. And with gratitude and cacao. Into this beautiful sacred space, this sacred ceremony we call a vortex of white light to surround us all, creating a sacred space where we can relax, we can let go, we can surrender, we can open to all the possibilities. And in this beautiful vortex of white light, anything that no longer serves us is transmuted and pulled into beautiful sparkling light. So that we know we are safe, we are welcome. All of us are welcome in this sacred space today. I invite you to bring your awareness to the cacao that you're holding, thinking about the journey that brought this cup to you. Imagine Ecuador, the heat, the rain, the rich earth, the forest. Imagine a cacao tree growing beneath the canopy. Tiny flowers, white flowers, appearing directly upon its trunk. And those flowers becoming pods, those pods slowly ripening. And then human hands harvesting them with love, opening them, fermenting the beans, drying them, preparing them, until eventually this cacao travelled across the world, and somehow, through thousands of individual moments, it arrived here in your hands. Take a moment to offer your gratitude to the earth, to the rain, to the sun, to the cacao tree, to every person involved in bringing the cacao here, and to the thousands of years of human relationship with this extraordinary plant. Bringing your cacao towards your face now, and before you drink it, smell it. Notice what happens within your body. And silently ask, what am I ready to receive tonight? Just being open to whatever comes to you. And as you take your first sip, inviting Mama Cacao into your being with love and gratitude. Holding the cacao in your mouth, feeling it on your lips, on your tongue, feeling the taste, noticing the sensations, the richness, the warmth, feel it travelling down through your body. And as it moves through your body, welcoming Mama Cacao into your being. And remembering, what am I ready to receive tonight? Now I invite you to take your second sip. And as you do, I invite you to ask, what am I ready to release? Perhaps something immediately comes to mind. Maybe not. That's fine. Simply allow the question to move through you as you allow the cacao to move through you. I invite you to place one hand now on your heart and feel your heartbeat beneath your hand. This heart has been beating for every moment of your life, through every joy, every heartbreak, every beginning, every ending, every person you've loved, every moment you thought you couldn't continue. Your heart continued. Take a deep breath into this space. And as you take a sip of the cacao, I invite you to ask, what is my heart asking me to remember? And feeling the cacao wrapping around you like a beautiful warm blanket as it moves through your being. And as you take another sip of the cacao, you feel the deep gratitude for this medicine. And you feel the cacao taking you to the edge of a forest. The air is warm. You can smell the damp earth. You can hear water somewhere in the distance. And you begin walking. With every step, you feel yourself becoming quieter. The outside world becoming further away. Until eventually you reach a clearing. And there in front of you is a cacao tree. Take a moment to notice the tree. What does it look like? How big is it? What colour are the pods? Are there flowers? Is there anything around it? And walking towards the tree, place your hands upon its trunk and simply listen. You don't have to hear words. Plants communicate in many ways. A feeling, an image, a memory, a sudden knowing, or a simple silence. And as you stand connecting to the spirit of cacao through this beautiful tree, I invite you to ask the cacao, what do you want me to know right now? And allow the cacao to remind you, to communicate directly with your heart. And as you stand with the cacao, it asks, what are you ready to create? What are you ready to become? What seeds are inside you ripening? And you give thanks to this beautiful tree as you feel your awareness moving back to your physical body, to your heart space. And you imagine a gentle warmth beginning in the center of your chest. And with every breath, this warmth expands across your chest, into your shoulders, down your arms, into your hands, down through your belly, through your legs, until your whole body is held within that warmth. And imagine that warmth extending beyond your physical body, that warmth of Mama Cacao connecting with the people around you. And then further to the people you love. That love and that warmth expanding to the land beneath you, to the trees, to the plants, the animals, and back across the world to the forest where the cacao grows, to all the forests where the cacao grows. And for a moment, experience yourself not as something separate from nature, but as nature, breathing, living, changing, growing. And bringing your hands back towards your heart. Taking one sip of cacao. And as you allow that sip of cacao to move through you, making the statement, my heart is ready to, and allow whatever word or words want to arrive. My heart is ready to. And make yourself one small promise, one thing that you will do, something you can honour, one action, a conversation, a creation, an act of kindness towards yourself. And when you're ready, taking a deep breath in and breathing out. Feeling your feet on the ground, noticing the sounds around you, moving your fingers and your toes, and taking a moment before you open your eyes to give thanks to Mama Cacao, to give thanks to all of the plant medicines, to give thanks to all the plant and mushroom and tree allies that we have guiding us. And giving thanks to the fact that for over 5,000 years we have been developing a relationship with cacao. And tonight we remembered cacao as something not just that we consume, but something that we can be in relationship with. May we remember to listen. May we remember to feel. May we remember to connect to the earth. And above all, may we remember to connect to our hearts. And when you're ready, opening your eyes. Welcome back. Would anyone like to share, either in the chat or you can unmute yourself, anything that came to you in the cacao ceremony? Jo, how was your first taste of the cacao? I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was yeah, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I think it's just so I don't know, so silky, so nurturing. Um, and I actually found that very emotional. I just had tears rolling down my cheeks for most of the time. And just, yeah, not many words, just sort of connection and growth, and honouring myself and the earth more, than I have before. So yeah, thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. Would anyone else like to share anything from their experience? I have to say, I found that quite emotional as well. Anyone else like to unmute and share or type in?
I'm happy to share. I'm Nuala. Yeah, that was beautiful. I think what the the first words were just about nourishment for me because I've been feeling a bit depleted. I've just had my period. Um, but I really like felt the image of the tree, like and being. I felt like I could just kind of. I don't really know what a cacao tree looks like, so I was kind of imagining it, and I felt like I could just nestle at the kind of around the roots, and that felt really good.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
amazing, thank you. Okay, we've got the image that came to mind was randomly a telephone cell mast, which made me think it was representing the many, many communications and networks that cacao brings. Beautiful. I was told to let go and surrender. The cacao tree was an old friend. Beautiful. Lovely. Does anyone else want to share? Sonia.
Yeah, I think for me it was. I mean, I've been having a sort of a tough time, and it to me it was about cacao brings so much love and so much connection and connection to like the group of women that you've created in that space, and I've never had that community before. And I think it does that, but also it's very hard to receive that amount of love. So I think my gift at the end was to receive, and that was that. I've been so emotional the whole night just listening to everything. So I think in that in itself is, I'm so good at giving. It's like just taking that time to receive back for yourself, like truly receive in your own heart. That is so hard to do.
Mm,
It's so hard to do because we live in a society where it's if there's always like a different agenda. So it's learning to open that heart to receive even more. And my other job is that I am a foster carer, and I do that with the children. But I have a little girl at the minute. She brings so much light, so much light. She opens my heart so massive. She's such a gift. But that is so hard for me to receive.
yeah.
So yeah, so thank you.
Thank you. It is a lesson, I think, of this lifetime for women, especially, is to receive. And it's so important for us to receive, to learn how to do that. Because ultimately, and this is what cacao, this is what the lessons of so many of the indigenous cultures are bringing us, is reciprocity. It's giving and receiving. It's this cycle. We can't just always give or always receive, because then there's a imbalance, and ultimately everything in the universe is about balance, isn't it? So we have to create this cycle of giving and receiving, and this is what is so important for us. And I think cacao is a great teacher of that receiving, and then we give back. In the meditation we received from the cacao, but then we gave back. we gave that reciprocity back. We gave that energy that we'd received back into all those cacao trees, those cacao forests. And so that's a really lovely way to do it, because you, in that one journey, you give and receive all at once. Does anyone else want to share? I have to bounce. Lovely to see you all. Thank you so much for the beautiful ceremony. Oh, thank you, Jessie. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Does anyone else want to share before we finish? It has been really lovely to be here with you all to celebrate Juliette's Kitchen Cacao, and just to honour the earth and Mama Cacao, to be in that space. It's always such a beautiful thing. So thank you all for being here with me this evening, and thank you to all of those watching the replay. Lots of people will be watching that, so lovely to hear from you all. Anyone watching the replay, or any of you who have been in the ceremony now, who have any questions that come up, just drop me a line, drop me a message. If anything comes up that you want to share privately about the ceremony, then I'm always here for you all. So lots of love, and have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the evening, and I look forward to seeing you all very soon. Take care, everyone.